广播时间。
Welcome to Mandarin Monkey Podcast Episode 40.
第40个广播。
Great. And today we have a special guest by the name of Dan. Hi, Dan.
Don't say it twice.
So Dan is one of our patrons and also a avid and regular Hangouteer. I just made that up yesterday. Who attends our Hangout sessions every Sunday, sometimes twice.
Or
most of the time now, twice on Sundays. So an avid learner. An avid artist as well. You're a great artist as well.
对，我们在第39集的广播有提到，like Dan has a good skill on the artist. The drawing 的马赛克 I still don't know how to say
Mosaic.
对，是不是马赛克 Is that right?
对。
It's 马赛克。
Also, Dan is studying Chinese, obviously. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you said you got to HSK 3?
Mayo, I sort of stopped after 2 because it was I was learning vocabulary from HSK and some grammar, but I decided conversation is more important.
Yes,
And I sort of knew a lot. I think I knew enough to. It was sort of getting a little boring and some of the stuff in there is like, it's like I'll never say some of the stuff you learn, and so I said like. And also, I decided to go visit China. And I realized I need to be able to actually talk to people, not just know the word for apple or car or So that's where I sort of.
So
go ahead.
没关系。
Yeah.
对不起。
So now I'm spending more time face to face. And I use books and stuff for reference when I, need to look up a name or a word or, how a sentence works or something like that. But I'm not like chasing the tests anymore the way I started out. Now it's more like sort of learn as you go and do it by being stupid in front of people instead of
But that's the best way. 这是一个很好的办法。
Yes. Even though it's harder in some ways.
So your original when you started learning Chinese, your original concentration was on writing and reading as opposed to speaking, but now you sort of flipped over to the speaking side.
Yeah, well. Obviously from someone who's never seen Chinese before. In fact, when I first started Chinese, I didn't consider it a foreign language. I considered it an alien language. It's like so different that you have to be comfortable with the word, the actual Hanzi. So. It didn't bother me learning all the little squiggly lines and stuff, and using the HSK books was just a way to have a concrete goal instead of just learning. It gives you a sense of accomplishment to do that, and that you've done something, even if it's just pass a test. So I keep the books around for reference and I look at them, but they're not my main focus right now.
Okay.
Got it. So do you, what books? So 你要翻译吗？然后我会问他，我会用英文，然后你可以用中文吗？
好啊。
所以你先。
所以我们有10个问题想要问 Dan in this podcast。对，然后所以。但我们想要知道你最常使用哪一本书学习中文。
So what books or books do you use most to study?
Right now, I use Actually, I don't use a lot of books. I have a very good. I'll show you here real quick. In English, a Chinese English picture dictionary.
Okay.
Picture 有图片的。
Actually, this one right here, the visual dictionary. It has everything in there. You know, also. Just
可以给我们看吗
Can you let us see?
？Yeah, show
this
us.
one?
里面。
Inside.
It's like.
啊。
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So if you don't know what something is, you just look for the picture. And you know,
你需要看。
it's very handy and it's small, and I can carry it around. And
So what's his name called again?
this
什么名字
this is the visual.
Visual.
Yeah, I got it Amazon.
OK,
No,
好。
DK, Visual Mandarin, Chinese, and English Bilingual Dictionary.
Cool.
Yeah,
OK,
yeah,
好的
yeah.
好的，
Yeah,
谢谢。
very handy.
So that's the first one. 这是第一本书。
可以再说一遍吗？
Yep. This is your first book. Yep. You said you.
Well, I bought when I started. I just bought everything. Everything.
Mm.
You know, I wasn't afraid to just buy every book that looked somewhat interesting. You know, somewhat relevant. And you know, later on, you say, okay, maybe I don't use this one, but at least you know. You know, after you buy enough books, you find which ones are useful and which ones are not, and you know, give away the ones you don't or whatever. But you end up with a few, and you know, I like.
还有吗？ Is there any more?
可以再说一遍吗？
还有吗？
So, you have your Chinese English Visual Dictionary.
Yeah.
Do you have any
yes.
other books that you like to use to study?
I actually basically I use the HSK books for most up until the beginning of this year.
所以这是考试用的。This is for tests.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're actually very good, just for basically learning vocabulary and sentence structure and things like that. They actually are very good just in general. They're very well. They're put together very well, and I did get a lot out of them. But you know, I'm not trying to pass a written test anymore. I'm trying to actually talk to people.
There's no practical use for it in real life situations.
No, it's just you know if you're going to get a job in China and you know you have to prove that you know that. Yeah, it's useful to have that piece of paper that says, yeah, you got this. But other than that, it was just something to work towards for me. It's just, I needed something to just prove to myself and other people that, okay, maybe you're not, this isn't just a crazy fad. You're actually going to do something, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that
考试 is like a helper. 但是你必须要说，跟 native speakers 说，然后你从里面学 you learn mistakes from conversation, you having conversation with natives.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so 第一本是 visual dictionary, 第二本是 HSK.
Yeah.
还有吗？
Do you have any others?
Actually, computers are extremely handy, and basically technology nowadays is a big help.
It sort of supersedes it, doesn't it? You know?
Yeah, it really is. You know, using your Shoji, like Pleco, Google Translate is, you know, and there's another Yellow Bridge, which is great for translating.
YouTube.
YouTube. Oh, YouTube is wonderful. And not just because you're on it, but you know, for other people too, and other.
Yeah, of course.
Social media.
Yeah, of course. And Facebook and
apps, ranking, blah blah blah.
So technology, I wouldn't have been able to do it without just using a book. It would have just been grueling. It would be almost impossible.
Yeah. We find very similar, the same problems actually.
好，第二个问题。
Sorry, number 2.
你有什么东西是价值 ？So 价值 is value, like you value this much. 100元以下。
So, what purchase of $100 US dollars or less has most positively impacted your life?
对，给你很多正面的
Within the learning arena
影
or
响力。
anything else, if you want to say.
对啊，
你觉得？你们觉得？
Mm-hmm.
啊哈
你们觉得？
我们觉得
What am I?
对。
Oh! So becoming a unicycle, right?
啊 ，nice one。哎，我们需要告诉大家这故事，
他的梦吗? Okay, you can tell them your story if you like.
所以我们想要你跟我们 share。
Yes. Well, you know, I can't do it in Chinese because it's too complicated. But I had a crazy dream one night that I was able to ride a unicycle, even though I'd never ridden a unicycle before. I hadn't even ridden a bicycle in 10 years, but I was having such a great time, and the dream was like very strong and vivid, and it's like it just stayed with me when I woke up, and it's like I just remembered how great it was to be able to ride around on a unicycle, and so I just said, well, what would happen if I just bought a stupid unicycle and see what happens, you know? Maybe I can, maybe I can't. And so I literally just went on Amazon and bought a unicycle. And,
Oh no!
And then...
Oh no, he's frozen.
对呀。
Oh, are you still there? Are you there?
Call him back.
No, he's...
I can hear you.
Oh.
I can hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Dan?
I can hear you.
Yeah, you're back a little bit. You're very...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lovely.
Yeah, I think my network is maybe a little stupid right now. But are you okay? Can you hear me?
You're back, yeah.
Okay,
your sound's back a little bit.
Okay, so you heard I bought the unicycle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I bought the unicycle.
You had a dream and you bought a unicycle.
Yeah. And so and the idea of just having a crazy idea and just acting on it and not worrying about whether it'll work or not made me ask myself, so what else have I not tried that seemed impossible, but, you know, maybe I'd want to do? And literally, the idea of learning Chinese just popped into my head. And I don't know where it came from, but it just popped into my head. So I literally went over just got onto YouTube and I was like, well, maybe there's something on YouTube about learning Chinese. And oh yes, I was very happy because there was 10,000 videos about learning Chinese on YouTube.
So you connected Chinese with unicycle in your dream?
No. The fact that I bought a unicycle just because the dream was so nice also made me say, well, what else have I not done that? Not done that I sort of wanted to do, and it made me think about, well, what have I not tried to do in my life that I might want to try to do, what has maybe seemed impossible before, and the idea of learning Chinese just popped into my head, even though I'd never been able to learn any languages before. And
a quick question: you have some musical instruments behind you, guitar and a piano.
Do I?
Was that part of the
not really.
I
haven't had time to even try those.
But that is something that you
that's sort of that. Those came along in the same sort of way, but I got so busy with this that I haven't really had a whole lot of time to do anything with it.
还有韩文吗？韩文Korean， 你有在学韩文吗？
yes. I'm trying. 我学习韩文。但是比较很难。
比较难，真的吗？
Oh my god！
是 pronunciation 很难，还是 grammar 很难？
I'll just jumble.
Their language is much more complicated. It makes Chinese seem very simple. It really does.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. It's funny. My Korean teacher says, "Oh, Chinese is too complicated. No one can learn Chinese." I'm like, "What? Are you crazy? It's so much easier than Korean.
Where is it?
所以你学韩文多久了？
Oh, let's see. About 八个月。
8个月. Okay.
8个月。
8 months. Okay.
And 中文多久？
let's see. 一年半。
1年半。
Right.
Would you say that you've been studying Chinese for a year and a half solidly, or it's kind of been on and off during that time?
It's pretty solidly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you double learning them, both languages?
I actually probably spend a little more time on Chinese just because I'm further along and I'm going there. I'm going to China pretty soon, so it's like I have to really, yeah.
9月份。
Yeah.
好的。
Okay.
所以unicycle 对不对？
Yeah.
是第二个问
So
题。
the question 2, the answer probably is you purchased a unicycle. That was probably like the catalyst for all these amazing
and it was
changes.
And it was less than $100, so that qualifies.
Amazing.
好的。
Okay, great. Good. And how?
好。
How bang-
Now,
所以
我不能开车 unicycle.
I was gonna. My next thing was actually going to write it.
It's like.
Oh.
骑
So
骑
Qi
unicycle
不能骑
ride 骑
is okay.
不能骑
骑
骑 is like you ride a bicycle, you ride a unicycle， 所以在中文 is 骑。
对。
对啊，对，好，所以
第3吗？
在学习中文的时候，我们都会有挫败，我们会有we face the difficulties, we face a failure。当然，那你遇过什么样的失败，让你现在变得很成功？
Yeah. So how has a failure or apparent failure set you up for your latest success?
对，然后你最喜欢的最喜欢、印象最深刻的是哪一个？
对，其实let's see. When I went to take the HSK2 test, which is basically a written test, I decided to take the HSKK test also, which is the speaking test. And I did fine on the written test, but I totally bombed on the speaking. I was just
Okay.
I just couldn't. I just sat there. I was totally 我的大脑一片空白。
Your brain went blank.
Oh, it was horrible. It was just like I was just like, oh no. And that.
所以你喜欢，这是你喜欢的一个 failure. Do you think that it makes you want to improve more?
Well, it made me realize that what I knew was only half of what is really to know. In other words, just being able to read it and maybe listen. Well, you still have to be able to talk, especially spontaneously. Like you would in a real conversation. So that really also made me say, well, all right, maybe I'll stop worrying about tests right now, and maybe I'll just like work on actual people.
So getting confidence to be able to verbalize.
And I realized it was like a lot harder than I thought it was, and it required sort of a different mindset. Yeah, and you have to prepare for it for a different way, and so.
So do you feel that you have one-on-one lessons, right, with a Chinese tutor?
对 yes 我有一个中文老师
是
and yes, I do have classes with her like once a week. I also have a language partner who's not a teacher. We just talk to each other, and he's sort of learning English, even though his English is pretty good. He's still it's funny because he can understand a lot better than he can speak English. But his English is decent. But he's actually he's actually very good at listening and understanding. But I think maybe for native Chinese speakers, being able to speak English is very weird, and it takes a lot of practice.
What I found is that's very true for everyone coming up who's learning English from a Chinese-speaking country. Is they'll hear a lot, but they'll never actually use it. So they'll hear the teacher saying apple, apple, apple. They'll hear it, the words and everything else. So their hearing is usually very good, but as you said, the speaking is not so good. And also, they'll watch Netflix or American or English speaking movies and so they'll get a lot of input, but they won't have a lot of output. So that's totally understandable.
Yeah.
对啊，我也有一样的问题。
Yeah, well, until you met me, yeah.
对。
But now we speak it, quite.
I could understand him, but I couldn't express myself so clearly. So I got frustrated, and I had to learn to try to
很快
say.
对啊，所以你的英文进步了。
对。
The one thing I will say about language exchange partners is I found very useful is trying to find someone whose language ability is at your level. It's whose English ability is at your level of Chinese ability, so that you both have to struggle to get your meaning across.
We actually do. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. It's actually he's better. He's very good at listening, but his speaking is probably not really a whole lot better than mine is. So than my Chinese is. So we are pretty well matched, and we do sort of force each other to like really understand and come up with the right way of saying stuff.
Do you speak every week with him?
Yeah, it's actually usually twice a week.
And 他从中国来? Did he come from China?
Yeah, he lives in Guangdong.
Guangdong.
Yeah.
And obviously, so you have a one-on-one lesson with a Chinese teacher who is 从中国来. She also is from China.
对，she住在near Beijing.
Beijing, okay.
Okay. Then you have a language exchange partner, and then obviously you speak with us on a Sunday, so you get quite a lot of exposure to it, right?
对。
To 中文.
Yes.
很好。
Oh, great. So, I have a quick question about your vacation in China in September. Do you plan on continuing to study after your visit? Is that just visit number one?
Yeah.
Will you continue to go back to China, maybe to Taiwan? Say hello?
Yeah. Oh, yes. That would be very interesting. The truth is, I sort of got talked into going to China by a relative. I didn't really have any plans to go to China because it's like, oh my God, that's so complicated. 12-hour flight, blah, blah, blah. And but she just called me up and said, well, she talked to my mom one day and said, I heard Dan is learning Chinese. That means we're going to have to go to China. And my mom called me and said, we're going to China. And I'm like, okay, we're going to China.
你需要小心，因为可能在中国你会听到 Cantonese，然后你会听不懂。
Yeah, so when you go to China, you might be hearing a lot of potentially Cantonese, so you might get a bit confused.
Well, I heard there's like 50 different dialects, so I'm not going to be too surprised.
Yeah, there's many.
Yeah.
对啊。
There's many.
Okay.
There's many.
好，很棒。
所以
第四个问题。
对。
所以你有没有喜欢的中文名言？The Chinese phrase.
Actually, pretty 对。It's 可以再说一点嘛。
好，所以你有没有喜欢的？你喜欢什么中文名言？
我想那是他的。你可以慢一点吗？
哦，真的吗？
你可以说慢一点。
The Chinese phrase.
Is that your favorite phrase?
对。Because for the longest time, that was the only. I just watched your podcast this morning, right? The one you just put out, and until that time, that was the only phrase I knew to like, maybe slow things down or get more information or something. Because I use that for like forever, but that was the only thing I knew. So, until you guys, came up with this new podcast about all these ways of, saying stop or whatever. Yes.
Yeah, lesson 52. Yeah.
Lessons, not podcast. Okay.
So
所以你有学到很多 ways to ask.
Yes, I do now. Yes.
好棒，好棒，很好。
Well, there are more ways, and we can always make more of getting yourself out of the situation.
Yes.
I quite like the 那是什么 and then running. Like, what's that? And then running. That's quite a good technique to use to stop the conversation.
为什么？
I quite like the phrase 差不多.
差不多。
Like, kind of.
Kind of. 差不多。
差不多. Yeah, 差不多. Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
好。
You have one?
我英文吗？
Do you have a favorite English phrase?
我忘记了耶，但是 the one I love the most, I like the most is practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect. Okay.
Yeah. 因为我们有很多的学生，我们在学习中文，在学习英文，但是大家都在 complain，为什么我的英文、我的中文还是不好
？Why is my English and Chinese so bad? Yeah.
而且我的中文的学生他们在学英文。My Chinese students
learn English.
对，然后他们就会有时候会很生气。
They're angry, yeah.
他们听不懂我，
They don't understand you.
对，所以我就会说，你需要 keep making mistakes and then you learn. But the most important thing is you need to try.
Yeah, try.
因为如果你没有 try， 你怎么知道 what the mistake is?
You can't get corrected, right?
对啊，所以英文 my favorite phrase will be practice makes perfect.
I think that's one of the biggest things. I think Dan was making a great point before in your email, Dan, about feeling stupid when you're trying the language. And that's something everyone, I think, struggles with when you first start learning. Even when you're in the middle of learning, I don't think it really changes. You get to someone. I had a very similar experience where I did. You remember the 电影院 and 李有成之
Yeah, we went to the cinema, and then 你说我要一杯柳橙汁 I want a orange juice. 然后他说中文 and 他的 pronunciation 很棒 is correct. 我听得懂，然后 the other people behind the clerk understand him too, but just only that guy
went, huh? And I went, 一杯柳橙汁?
对
He went, huh? And I thought, I'm stupid. I thought, am I saying it wrong? And I turned to you and I said, am I saying it wrong? Is my tone's wrong? And she said, no, it's fine. Say it again. So I said it again. And he went, huh? What, huh?
Yeah.
And then his colleague went behind him and tapped him on his shoulder and said, 一杯柳橙汁. And he went, oh! And I was like, what was wrong there? But that killed my confidence.
But I told you not to feel that way because it's just only him. You don't have to feel hurt just because of him. But maybe I always tell you, right? People don't expect you to speak Chinese.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So when you speak Chinese, that kind of scare them, to shock them. 我觉得你说中文，OK， 所以你说的是什么意思？ So they have to think. So we don't blame them, but sometimes you just need some confidence.
Right. I think when Dan, you go to China as well, you're going to find this where you're a Waigoran, you're a foreigner, and when you speak Chinese to someone, maybe in a restaurant, you order something. Even you say something simple like, I don't know, 一杯水 or 柳橙汁.
Yeah.
And they go, huh? Usually that huh is because, but you're a foreign guy. Why are you speaking Chinese?
Yeah.
You know, they're like shocked by it more than anything than you're saying it wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's like just waiting those few awkward seconds to get over so they can get over the fact that you are foreign and you are speaking Zhongwen.
So don't doubt yourself when people went, huh? They just want you to say again.
So they can confirm you just spoke Chinese instead of English.
Yeah, they just need you to say again to make sure that, I understand what you're saying.
Worst case, 你会说英文吗? 你可以问他们.
Yeah, you can ask them.
你会说英文吗? Because 9 out of 10 people go, I don't speak English. Like, 我不会. Okay, well then why are you giving me that face?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm trying to speak 你的语言. Like, you can't speak English, so. Anyway.
Okay.
Most people, they don't meaning bad. They just need to some time to react
to it.
To it.
Okay,
yeah.
so
okay. 第五个 question， 第五个问题，你在学习中文的时候，你觉得什么是最好的 the best 投资 investment？ 对。
So what is one of the best investments you've ever made in your study? It could be money, time, energy, etc.
Well, actually, you know, I tell you what happened was when I started studying, I realized that TV was like not nearly as much fun as it used to be, and so I actually really watch very little TV now, which is kind of a surprise to everybody who used to know me. But and I pretty much spend all my time trying to learn Zhongwen.
好吧
Yeah. It's you know, everybody's like, "Oh, did you see the ending of Game of Thrones?" And I'm like, I don't watch that.
Game of what?
Yeah, it's kind of awkward because you know I'm home watching YouTube videos of you guys.
And so is film 电影也是吗？ Do you find?
Well, I'm 你说什么? I mean,
so you recently found that TV is not interesting. 那电影呢? What about films? Do you feel the same way?
Mostly, yes. I will occasionally, but really most of the stuff is just not nearly as much fun anymore. So
you invest most of your time in YouTube videos, would you say, to studies?
You know, well, depending on the situation. If I can, you know, if I'm driving to work or exercising or something, I'll listen with the shoji. But or you know, if I can be in front of a computer, I'll watch something because I'll watch something or read something. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like reading.
Watching, reading, or listening. The normal stuff. Okay, so usually it's podcasts. Is that what you listen to?
Well, whatever sort of is interesting. I don't have like I'm not superly focused on one thing. It's just like I'll look at all the things that are available. I'll look at what's on YouTube or what's on podcast or you know a book that I got and whatever is like interesting at the time. What I do is I actually when I have conversations with anybody who speaks Zhongwen like you guys or like my partners, it's like I actually record our conversations so I can listen to them again and again and again because you miss a whole lot the first time. And
当然
you really do. I spent a lot of time listening to conversations I had before, even though watching myself fumble around is is not fun. It's very uncomfortable because
我想你的办法很有意思。他的学习的办法 because your way of learning, sorry Dan, your way of learning is quite interesting. I think we're still trying to figure it out how exactly you learn best. And like example, in our last hangout, you told us a great story. You told us the story of Mrs. Doubtfire, the movie. So the topic we had for that hangout was that the guys who come, we had to prepare a sort of like a synopsis. A movie story. And Dan did Mrs. Doubtfire. An oldie but a goodie. And did really, really well on describing the thing. And the way you did that, obviously, was you sort of wrote down your ideas, maybe used Google Translate to find a few of the characters and this kind of stuff. And then you sort of recited the story. And it was 80-something% correct, right? There was just a few things missing. And then we grabbed it, Eula corrected it, sent it back, and then you reread it, right? Which was great. Perfect. So perhaps that, on the contrary, like other members of the Hangout that we have, like to just make it up on the spot, which has a lot more mistakes, but they learn that way, right? But I think you prefer to. Is that the way you like to do it? You like to sort of write it down, rehearse it, practice, and then, or do you? Yeah,
because like I printed out your 10 questions, and it's like I wrote out answers for them, and so Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I looked at your
okay.
questions and I'm like, I can't just spout off an answer for these guys. I have to like really think of something and it feels like what color's an apple? I could do that without thinking about it.
Yeah. 当然 like in my I study in master degree and then we have to do a lot of presentation on many different topics. 然后我每个礼拜 I need 1 week 一个礼拜的时间 just look up in dictionary or special terms or I had to read a lot of articles just to 准备 my one presentation. So we still need practice, right? Of course, you have to write down the script or anything that you want to say, any information you want to give, and then I have to practice a lot and a lot and a lot. Otherwise, 我会没有 confidence, 我会没有自信 to stand on the stage and present my project to everyone. So everyone needs preparation.
Don't get scared, get prepared, right? That's a Dan 101, I think. I think when you come to the Hangout with something you've prepared, it's great because you've put a lot of mind into it, and you feel more confident about it, right? In yourself.
Yeah. Especially, it's like it's kind of hard to think up. I mean, recall words when you're sort of in a pressure situation. The guy's looking at you right in the face, and you're like, "What was that word?" So it's better just to know it ahead of time and know at least sort of what you want to say before you get in that
I know
situation.
how you feel because my professional
Your profession? 你的工作吗?
No, 我的 teacher 在 master degree.
Okay,
professor. My professor and my classmates, they sit on the table and I have to stand on the stage and to present my project. That was such a big stress in my life. And it happens every week. So I know how you feel. I know, I need some preparation so I can feel confident. I can't just find the words from my brain and to say it out loud because that would be a mistake.
I do it slightly differently. Well, as you know.
But everyone has their different...
Billy Da Dan Dan.
Billy Big
Joe.
Okay.
Billy Da. That was funny.
Yeah. I do prepare, but not as rigorously as you. I can prepare, I revise, but then I just think I get very stressed about it if I study too much on one topic, and that makes my mind blank because I've gone over it too many times. So I sort of go over it a few times, think okay, and then I just pretend I'm confident. But that in itself is being confident, is it?
对.
Like being brave is essentially pretending you're not scared.
Yeah.
Everyone is afraid of speaking. Everyone is afraid of speaking. You just got to pretend you're not.
Yeah.
And then, and it goes a lot easier than you think it does.
I think in that way, people would be more willing to teach you because you look so confident. You know what you are saying, you got more. You will have more chance from correction from a native speaker because they know, you know what you're saying, but you just make the mistake. So I'm going to help you here, right? But everyone has different purpose. Or different ways on their learnings. Like Darian, she likes freestyle, like free talk. So she does, right?
No, you're right. She's actually
like a free talk.
She knows more Chinese than I do, so she can do that. She does. She
studied 2 years at university though.
Oh yeah, that's different.
Yeah. So she's better. She's better at just spontaneous. Speaking like that, but I'm not quite that good.
Soon though, Dan. Soon.
Soon you will be. With every hangout, you're increasing with confidence in what you say. So
对啊，加油 ！Don't give up.
That's not about this one. Okay.
Okay. 第6个问题 This is not about learning, I guess. Maybe not.
No.
所以什么是你喜欢的习惯？习惯 is habit. 但是是很奇怪的 the strange one.
So 6. Yeah, what's like more absurd thing?
Yes. Well, Wohan IG. Wohan IG.
G.
No, G.
G.
As in.
To collect.
No. G is in
Oh.
AG.
哦，你喜欢 machines？
对。
机器。
Machines and
机器。
gadgets and, for instance, Liru, my mechanical spider. He's a robot.
Oh,
哦，
really?
它可以做什么？
what can you do?
He can walk around, and
Ah.
I can control him with both my shoji, and he has a camera. He has a little camera in here. He can send a picture back, and he can see in the dark, and he can go upstairs.
Did you buy that or did you
No,
make
I bought that. I couldn't make this, but
Oh, well,
so
好可爱哦！
I have all sorts of crazy gadgets that I've either bought or made, and so I have a room in my house that's just for making stuff, and I have
所以你喜欢机器，你喜欢买一些很 special 的 machines。
so you like
gadgets
machines
and new things that are weird and do strange things and stuff. Yes.
So just to clarify that language you just used there, so shoji would also be not just phone but also collect. In this instance.
收集
Shoji, yeah.
Yeah, but different
Yes,
pronunciation.
a different tone.
So collect is 收集 first, second, and then 手机 because you have your phone is always in your hand, so that is 手, which is this
Hand
手机, yeah, hand machine.
But I don't know how you say just machine by itself. Just a machine just the word machine, not a shoji.
So the one machine, if you just want to say the machines in general,
yeah.
you say 机器.
ETG?
Ji-chi.
器.
Oh, Jichi. Jichi?
对.
Oh.
Yeah, it just means the machines in general.
Okay.
Mechanical things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like 手机 is a hand machine, so you omit the second word of 机器.
Oh, okay.
It becomes 手机. So if you have a specific like cell phone or 还有什么?
Tablet? Oh no, they're not G though.
Oh,
They're not
Fiji,
G. 飞机, yes,
飞机, yeah.
airplane.
Yeah.
Wow. 还有什么? What is
Oh.
at the end?
There's
T at the end.
飞机.
No. 电视机 TV. You can say 电视. You can also say 电视机.
你可以说电脑.
Oh, camera.
哦，照相机.
对
Yes.
对。
唯一
You don't need to say G.
照相机.
Okay, sorry, yeah, go on.
照相机 is camera.
相机, yeah, okay, yeah.
对，好。
对。
Yeah.
Yeah, we answered it, yeah.
好的。
You did it.
Yes.
Yay.
Okay, so Dan's unusual thing that he loves is the spider robot, right?
Well, and goofy things like that. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Yes.
Next one.
机器.
Okay.
第七个问题是，在过去的5年里面，你有什么新的 belief 还是行为还是习惯 the habit， 然后让你学习得到进步 to improve your learning?
Yeah, it's like I sort of answered that before. It's like I don't really spend a lot of time watching TV anymore, and that used to be like a great way to kill time, basically when you were bored. But it's like I don't really do that very much anymore, and I spend most of that time just studying.
So what new habit have you other than creating the TV? What sort of new habit have you or routine have you adopted to help your learning?
Oh well, I thought that was an answer, but
yeah. Well, I mean, other than quitting TV, because that's a habit that you've lost. What's something you've gained?
All right. I don't know. Maybe deciding not to be a book studier and be a face-to-face studier, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Really.
So you have more time to practice your speaking.
Yeah, and it's like I spend more time like talking with you guys and talking with my language partners. It's like I try to find as many opportunities as I can to do that.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, well, it really did make a big difference, to tell the truth.
That's exactly what you should be doing.
Yeah.
I was going to say that one of the habits I've learned from you do today is you speak face-to-face with Chinese speakers 4 times a week. It's great. It's amazing.
很棒，很棒。
Yeah.
Okay, so 第8
个，如果现在 now 有一个想要学习中文，而且他很聪明，你有什么建议 ？What advice do you have?
What advice would you give to a person about studying?
What I would say is you use books for learning vocabulary and maybe grammar, but use face-to-face for conversation. Don't try to learn, conversation from a book, because they'll try to teach you that, but you're not going to really learn. It's not going to give you the feel of the stress and the feeling of like, oh, I have to come up with a way to say this, and what's he really saying to me? You can't get that from a book, just reading a book. And so I would say, books are great for a reference and vocabulary and learning sentence structure, but you gotta get in front of people to actually learn it. And also really take advantage of technology that's available. It's like I'm always surprised about new ways of using your computer and your cell phone and other things to really help you learn. Yeah. I mean, even things like, using the Google Translate for when you need, if you just want to look up a word real quick. For instance, like the menus I sent you. Do you remember the menus?
Yeah. 记得.
Basically, what I did was I literally I copied all the Hanzi, right?
Yeah.
And I literally cut and pasted all the Hanzi at one time into Google Translate, and it gave me, it translated that entire menu in one at once. And
very clever.
And it gave me the pinyin too. So I got the English and the pinyin. And so I'm finding all sorts of new ways of using literally technology to help me learn. And just and it can really help you. That's what I would say.
I think Dan's kind of answered question 8 and 9 at the same time.
对啊.
Because question 9 is, what are some bad recommendations?
Well, I also have one for 9. It's different.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, it's like don't fall for the become fluent in 90 days crap.
Yeah. I just have it in my brain. Like fast as something. Be fluent
in 30 days.
Yeah, in 30 days.
Yeah.
That is
no.
advertised.
I think in Chinese we say bullshit.
Yeah, we have that in Chinese. Yes.
You need to do a Mandarin Monkey episode on Chinese slang.
Yeah, I know. We have thought about that. But like, you don't know. I don't know. People are quite sensitive to things.
Well, I'm not totally serious, but even stuff that's not swear words and stuff, like just sort of casual speak.
We have teenage slang, which we might do as well. So it's the up and coming words that are getting added to the lexicon of Zhongwen, but not about curse words. We're not sure. We might do. I think a few
curse words, but
Yeah. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Learning these people who say, "Oh, become fluent in 60 days," stuff. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to. I mean, I don't know what you'd have to do for that to. You'd have to not speak your mother tongue at all for the entire time. Watch only your target language content material. Have no explanations.
Yeah. I think even I just throw you into a Mandarin speaking country for 30 days. You're not going to be fluent, but you are able to speak Mandarin. You are able. You are not fluent.
You won't
be. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
You won't be speaking like native speakers.
No.
Right?
No.
There's a Canadian guy, a comedian. 我忘记他的名字, but he's a quite relatively famous comedian in China. White guy from Canada. He's been there 20 years practicing and speaking the language, and it's only he's very good. Like, I don't think you could tell that he's a foreigner. You've heard him, right? Have you heard him?
我忘记了.
You forgot. Very, very good. It took him 20 years to get to that point where you couldn't tell. But he's lived in country for 20 years, been surrounded by the language at all times, doesn't speak anything else other than Zhongwen. And that's why I don't get when people say, "Oh no, you can learn it in 60 days." No, you can't. No, you can't. And you're undermining all the people who've been trying for years to become conversational. You know, so
but
I agree.
We all know what that is, right? We all
it's
know
a money grab.
Yeah. Because they're trying to sell you, a course at the airport or something.
Yeah, I think if you're going to study a language, you need to know it's going to take some time, and you need to think to yourself, I have to commit myself to this. Maybe it's like Dan, 4 times a week, I'm going to learn, read some books, watch a movie, whatever it is, your studying method. But you need to know and commit to it to a certain time. Say, look, I'm going to give this 2 or 3 years, see where I am at the end of 3 years, and hopefully aim, have a conversation, have a goal, but it's not going to be 2 months, 3 months. Like, you're going to have to study it for a little while.
太快了，太短了。
Yeah. Well, when I started, it's like I didn't even think I'd be able to do anything, but it didn't bother me. I wasn't gonna, I knew it was gonna be weird and hard, and even if I ever got anywhere, but I wasn't trying to do it immediately. I wasn't under any pressure. My boss didn't say, you have to learn this to keep your job or anything like that. I didn't even tell anybody I was doing it for almost a year. So
actually, that's quite a good way to do it. I found some people say that telling people your target is good because then they put pressure on you to achieve it. But then other people I've heard say, don't tell people, just surprise them with the result. You know what I mean?
Well, that's actually what I did. I didn't tell anybody in my family until I passed HSK1.
Got it.
And that way I could tell them.
Hear that?
Yes.
That's the garbage truck.
Are you kidding?
No, but every day.
Every day. So, in Taiwan, you don't just take your bin outside and just throw in the garbage.
You don't leave your bin outside the front and they collect it. You have to put your garbage in their truck.
So you have to, every day, 10 o'clock, you have to stand outside, wait for the rubbish truck, and then you have to throw away yourself.
Well,
so that is the music. That is the music. You hear every day.
So we should be chasing the truck right now.
In my neighborhood, we have the same thing, but he sells ice cream.
Yeah. Okay.
He comes around playing
cream.
music,
we have
selling ice cream truck. Yeah. That's what I thought it was. For a minute.
Yeah, in England as well. But our English, we don't have an ice cream truck. We have an ice cream bicycle. And then they have a what's that, horn, and it just went ba boo. And then every time when you hear ba boo, that means ice cream is coming.
Yeah, coming, all the kids now, give them whatever money.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Sweet.
It's a side note.
Okay, side note.
So, one other thing to add on to that question is don't just rely on one resource either. Yeah.
You use many, right?
对啊,
piles of everything. Yeah.
So what's the advantage? 有什么好处?
Well, you'll never learn everything from one thing. And I've never, even the HSK books, none of them I would consider complete information.
I agree. Yeah.
There's always something missing from one. So
yeah, I agree. Well, you're gaining, absolutely right. You're gaining different skills from different sources, right? So from the HSK stuff, writing and reading, and let's say you've gone through to HSK2 and got a good basis of Chinese writing and reading there, and now you're concentrating on speaking, right? So using for us is one resource, and I'm sure many other channels and your language speaking partners and your 中文老师，
对，很多不一样的办法
lots of different ways, yeah.
对呀，好，所以你在学习中文的时候 ，of course 你会有一些挫败的时候，或是你没有办法 focus，you cannot 专注，你会怎么办
？So question 10, when you feel
OK， 我喝啤酒。
喝啤酒，
吃鸡翅。
真的吗？
真的吗？
对，
这就是你说的啊。Some people they get drunk， 然后他有那个 confidence。
对 ，Yeah, it builds the confidence.
所以你一样吗
？But
not before having Google Hangout.
Well, no, I don't try to talk to people like that. I just get away from them and then go do that, and I feel better. Yes.
Do you ever? You should maybe try it. Have like one drink.
Well,
Dutch. It's called. I don't know if you call it in American English. We call it Dutch courage.
I've heard of that. Yes.
Okay.
I might try that sometime. Yes.
Just have like a shot, a short or a shot of something, and then come and hang out and see if you're confident.
No, okay, all right. Let's see what happens.
Do you get angry?
No. I just get very, I get relaxed and mellow, and it's easy to forget stuff in that state,
Drowsy.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, so your answer to when you feel overwhelmed or you feel unfocused, you have a drink, is that right?
Drink,
or is that a joke?
Yeah, no. Yes, and eat chicken wings.
And eat chicken wings. Okay, so eating and drinking. So if you look at HSK or a new book or a new study point, or perhaps you're writing a story for the Hangout or something, and you think, I can't really concentrate right now, you step away from your study. You step away from
basically,
the task.
I leave it alone, because if you get to a point where diminishing returns. It's like if you keep trying to force yourself to learn this, it just gets harder and harder, and just take a break, because you always feel better when you leave it alone for a little while and then come back to it. And that's part of that whole the memory thing, where the memory cycles, where you learn something and then you forget part of it and then you relearn it, and I forgot what it's called.
It's like sequential memory.
Like that. Yeah, sort of like
it's
that.
It's spaced repetition, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like Anki. You learn a word, and then it comes back. Then it regenerates like the flashcard again in 2 days, just before you forget it.
Yeah.
And you remember it again, and it sticks somewhere, and then it tells it again in 3 or 4 days, and then it reminds you again. So
I have that so many times back in the days.
you need, like, that's one of the tricks, isn't it, of learning, of remembering. Is spaced repetition.
对，但是我的是 in my school time, in my school life, I have to study like 10, 20. I have to remember 10, 20 different English words. I have to keep writing and remember that, and I have tests every single day. So our school life is quite stressful.
Wow.
I have them in my mind, so I have a bunch of words in my mind. But when I need to speak or something, to put those words in my conversation, I wasn't able to do that until Tom had to say those words and then bring those words back into my life. And then I remember, so this word is used in this context, right? In this conversation. So I know, I understand.
It's all good reading them, isn't it? Unless you actually use them. I'm the same with Zhongwen. If you say, this is shoji, unless I use the word shoji over and over again, not only initially when you just told me, so I repeated to myself shoji a number of times. I have to then use it in a sentence. And then in a some kind of conversation, and then again the next day, and maybe the next day, just to try and lodge it in my head.
And the way, and some words that you don't use in the conversation, like I've learned nevertheless, I've learned however, I've learned so many connecting words, but they are not used in your live conversation with people. When you talk to your friends, your family, you don't say those words unless you have it in speech.
Yeah.
You know? But I didn't know those, so I use a lot of like this kind of academic words, and then Tom said, "Oh, you can just say but, or you can just say because." You know, so that's.
Yeah, very few people say.
Yes.
对啊，对。
So you've answered all 10 questions, but I have an 11th.
Uh-oh.
Dun dun dun. It's actually it's not about learning. So we've done 10 questions on learning. This is about something else that we talked about on the podcast yesterday about 你的画画, your drawing, your painting. And we just want to ask you about. So you have a YouTube channel. It's Unicycle Chinese.
对. Yes.
So anyone listening can go and check that out as well. You did a great like mosaic style painting or a drawing. Is it drawing or painting?
The color was painted, and the black lines were drawn with a Sharpie.
Drawn on, okay. Yeah. So it looks great, and obviously the texture, the way you've textured and stuff, really looks like shuttle, like stones. It's really great.
Style.
And did you drew it on your kitchen floor? Is that right?
No. It's on a piece of canvas. It's a rug. It's like a rug, but it's just it's a piece of canvas, heavy canvas, and it's not drawn onto the floor. It just sits on the floor as a floor covering. They call them floor cloth. Yeah.
Is it stop motion? Is that what you?
Well, it's not. Well, it's time lapse.
You used a time lapse.
Yeah. What it was I just did it normally, but I had a camera, and it took a picture every 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And so the movie is just a whole sequence of those. So every.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, stop motion. So it's single image, and then it waits, and then as you keep going,
every
it takes
15 seconds. It took a picture. Yeah.
Yeah, so then you stuck it all together in editing.
Yeah,
so
it's
yeah. No, not like
stay image and time lapse.
Time
together,
lapse
right?
is different. No, I'm sorry. Stop motion is different from time lapse.
Time lapse is a video that you would record, and then you speed the video up. But stop motion is a series of still images taken over a gap. You know, they do it with animation where they move a character. And
so Dan say 他完成画画 for 15 seconds and then take the picture.
No. So the camera automatically took a picture of it. So he said it. So the camera automatically took a picture.
Yeah, the
every
camera
15
just
seconds.
like hanging there above me, and every 15 seconds it took a picture, no matter what I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he stuck them all together to make a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So what did you use to make the picture? You just use a Sharpie and then
You literally
watercolors or oil?
just one of these.
Yeah.
Just,
markers.
center marker. I used about 200 of them, but
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
很多。
yeah. So
And you've done more,
excuse me.
You've done some more pictures of
I did
similar.
another one like that on my for the tabletop. I actually took. I do have the. I did the same thing with the time lapse camera, but I haven't put it on YouTube yet. But it's also another mosaic style.
Yeah. Well, it's great. It's really, 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 really good.
那是你的工作吗？还是你的嗜好 hobby？
Is this
No, I just did this because I wanted to. I wanted to put something on my floor because it was big bare space. So I
Got
made
it. Yeah, it's great. Well, it's really, really good. I was just very interested in how you did it.
Yes.
But it's on your channel, Unicycle Chinese. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we go? We've just been over an hour now. I know it's late.
Yeah. Actually, Tom, I just watched your number 39 video, the one you just put out this morning.
Podcast.
Yeah,
That
the
was
podcast.
Yep.
39.
And I have to say, that's the first time I've ever seen you without A beard.
Really?
Yes. You're always fuzzy in your.
I know.
videos.
Stress. No. Yeah. This morning. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know.
You look like a baby. You had no hair on you at all.
I got a baby face.
It was my fault because 我不喜欢 beard.
Yeah, she doesn't like beard. Actually, before we met, I sported a beard, a kind of goatee thing.
Yeah. And you had a big one, right? A big beard in England. But then I say, I'm not a fan of having. Yeah.
Actually, here's a cultural thing, Dan.
Yes,
whether you know it or not, here women don't like facial hair. So even scruff, even like 5 o'clock shadow, it's not seen as sexy as it is in the West for for a man to look scruffy or clean shaven's the way to go.
In the East.
Yeah, in the East, yeah. But sometimes I just, well, you know what it's like.
It's my fault.
it grows every day. Sometimes just like, not today. I don't want to shave it off today.
He does tell me that when he gets old, he's giving up shaving. He's just have a long beard. And I was like, oh my God. I can't imagine my life.
Yeah,
but
I'm going to go Santa Claus.
It's his choice. I can't stop him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's what. Have you ever had a beard?
I tried growing a mustache once, and it looked horrible. It was just
really? I'll tell you what, we'll raise some money in November. Do you guys do Movember in America?
I don't know what that is.
Are you aware of this? Movember is a charitable cause for prostate cancer for men. Prostate cancer. Essentially, what you do is you grow a mustache from the 1st of November till the end of November, and you're not allowed to shave it. You can shave the rest of your face, but not the mustache.
Oh.
And you do that, and your family or friends may give you, say, if you grow a mustache out, we'll give you $10 or something by the end. Then you give that money to the charity to help prostate cancer in men. Maybe we can try that, huh?
Oh.
Try.
For November.
You send your beard to
No, because we'll see Dan twice every week.
Oh boy.
But do you need the evidence though?
The evidence will be the video in the Hangout.
Also, they don't really physically have your beard.
What do you mean?
So
you don't need to send the beard.
You grow your beard and then you shave it and then put it in box and then send it away.
No.
Oh, no.
It's just the act of growing it and raising money for looking silly for a month. That gets you the money. You don't have to prove anyone to anyone. The charity just take the money. They don't care if you actually.
I thought it's like donate your hair. You have to keep it in the goods.
No. Don't donate. Donate a moustache. Who's gonna want a moustache?
I don't know. Like hair transplant.
No, actually, women do that, don't they? With long hair, they do that, but not men's moustaches.
Okay.
They're not very bad.
Well, I do know, do I? Because I'm not a man.
So maybe we can do it. Me and Dan and Lou maybe comes along to the next.
Or you could try going bald.
Bald. Hey, I've talked about it. I'm already losing it at the back, so it's a choice. I thought I might tap out to going bald, but
I'm not looking forward to my old life.
but
he's gonna be bald and with a long beard. Oh my God.
I don't know. No, I did think about that, honestly. Yeah, shaving it off, but Eula kind of vetoed that decision. So no.
Okay, let's wrap up. 所以谢谢 Dan to our podcast， 我们很谢谢你。
不好意思，对不起。Dan, could you hang on?
Yes.
Just for a sec, so have a quick chat. Sorry, 你说什么？
我谢谢他来到我们的 podcast，
好啊，
然后跟我们的listener to have a conversation， 然后给我们的 listeners 很多的 suggestions。
Yeah.
所以谢谢 Dan，thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for coming along and sharing your knowledge and answering all our questions with everyone who's listening.
Oh yes, thank you very much. 谢谢你. Yes.
谢谢。
And hopefully we'll see you. Well, we'll see you in a couple of days anyway.
对呀。
好。
To everybody else.
Bye
bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
再见
And the same. Hi, bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. We always respond to comments, so if you're stuck or having trouble with Mandarin, please let us know. If you'd like to support our videos and podcast, then check out our Patreon page for some exclusive perks. Oh, and if you haven't, click on the subscribe button and that little bell as well. 谢谢你